Hi, I'm Kelsey Mays for Cars.com, here with the 2013 Nissan Juke, a car that's about as controversial as it gets these days. I mean, just look at it. This could be the Pontiac Aztek of our generation, a car that's about as polarizing as an episode of Real Housewives. Stick with us as we cover what makes it fun, maddening, and just plain weird all at the same time. The Juke is small. It's only about 162 inches in length. That's about as long as a Honda Fit hatchback. There's still an elephant in the room, though. It's more like a giant bug-eyed reptile. Look at the thing. You can't even tell sort of which lights are supposed to do what. These look like fog lights. They're actually the headlights. Up here are parking lights, positioning lights. Down here are where the optional fog lights sit. They sit kind of in this lower bumper with a Swiss cheese of openings. Either way, it's not a Gouda look for Nissan. Here we have the regular Juke with 188 horsepower coming out of its 1.6-liter turbo four-cylinder. Plenty of power, plenty of get up and go, but it is a little bit top-heavy in terms of the power distribution. You have to kind of get revs way up as the tach needle swings to the right before you really get a lot of oomph out of this small four-cylinder. Not as evenly distributed as the power coming from the Volkswagen Tiguan's turbo four-cylinder, same sort of engine in the Fiat 500L. A lot of that is because of the Juke's optional automatic transmission, which is a continuously variable automatic. It takes a while to kind of kick you up into higher revs where a lot of the engine's power band is, even when you dial the drive mode selector here over into sport mode, which is supposed to quicken accelerator response. The Juke's optional all-wheel drive system has an advanced torque vectoring provision which actually sends power to the outside wheels to help you in the corners, and thanks to all that, the Juke is reasonably fun to drive. It does corner pretty well. It feels a little bit more nose-heavy in terms of handling at the limits than such hardware would suggest, and long sweeping corners can induce a little bit of body roll that kind of reins in the fun. Still, on winding roads, on switchbacks, pretty fun to drive. You'll have to consider that against a lot of the Juke's shortcomings, mainly space. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I'm sitting with the seat all the way back to drive. Don't have a ton of room here to spread out my legs, and with the seat elevated, I'm running out of headroom up here in our moonroof-equipped test car. Steering wheel tilts but doesn't telescope. Bluetooth works for your phone, but it doesn't stream anything. No streaming audio, which is pretty common these days in a lot of newer cars. If you get a phone call, it locks out the map on the navigation system. So I really hope those people are helping you out with directions. Nissan says the center console was inspired by a motorcycle gas tank. It appears other materials were inspired by the Versa Econobox. Materials are pretty bad. Along the doors, there's just a lot of hard plastics. The center console compartment here rattles a lot as you open it and shut it. Really cheap headliner up here, pretty hard shiny plastics along the dashboard. There's an upgraded Rockford Fosgate stereo for 2013. You're going to need to turn that up because backseat passengers are going to be complaining at you even more. It's really cramped back there, and there's not even any armrest padding along the doors for them. Cargo room behind the second row, only about 10.5 cubic feet here. That's less than the room in the trunk of a Honda Civic Coupe, which is pretty small. You fold the seats down, you're looking at about 36 cubic feet of maximum cargo room, still on the smaller side. A Subaru Impreza hatchback by comparison has more than 52 cubic feet of maximum cargo space. And maybe that's why the Juke is a bit of a bit player. Nissan sells more than 4 Rogue crossovers for every single Juke that it sells, so it's hard to think of this thing being more than a one-hit wonder. That said, Nissan is the company that stretched the design envelope with cars like the Juke, the Cube, the Infiniti QX56, and so it is possible that this thing will stick around for years to come.